Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we'll be doing the algorithms from the bootcamp course. Every week since we are starting JavaScript, you'll be given like some algorithms to solve. They start off super simple, but they get pretty complicated as you move forward. So I'll just go ahead and show you where they are in the file. So here we have our bootcamp um, repository on our local system, and I'm just going to go into JavaScript. I'm going to go ahead and leave this open here where it says JavaScript with the algorithm, and I'm going to open my repository where I'm going to be working on them. I've already made a folder called JS Challenges. I'm going to make another folder in here and just call it Module 3 so I know where they originated from. I'm just going to right click, drag it over here. I'm going to copy it. Now we have module 3 on this file, which is already open in VS Code. And we have our module and our algorithms here. So let's go ahead and start solving them. So the way these are kind of structured is you have every week I believe you'll have between 3 to 5 algorithms that you can solve for. The solutions are already here. Try not to look at the solutions. Really give yourself some time to work through it, solve it, make mistakes, and try and research and get better at it. But every week I'm going to go through and just solve these algorithms and just give you my approach to how I solve them. So we're going to go into unsolved, and we're just going to go through how you would normally open this. You would open the test.html. We're going to open it in live server. And we have a Chrome tab here open already. And it should look like this. This is not an error. This is actually how it looks like. And I'm actually going to go ahead and open the console tab as well. So if we need to console log anything, we can. Don't mess with this file. You have your arithmetic.js. This is where your code is going to go. And we're going to read the README for this to see what they expect. So let's create our coding environment. Okay, so we have our README here. We're going to put the JavaScript down here. And we're just going to start solving stuff. Okay, so for the first algorithm, we need to open this, which we've already done. In this file, you will write code in the body of each function defined to accomplish the following. So we'll just take it one step at a time. Here we have our functions defined, but they're not doing anything. And all 4 of them has 4 parameters. And here we need to return the result of num1 plus num2. So the first couple algorithms will be pretty simple for you guys. So we need to return a result of num1 plus num2. And these will literally be extremely straightforward. And now when we save it, we should return the correct value here. Where num1 is 10, num2 is 24, and our result is to equal 34. Awesome. Same thing with this. So returns the result of num1 minus num2. So we return the result of num1 minus num2. And we should pass that result. And 100 minus 91 should equal 9. So there we go. Now multiply. So we will return num1 times num2. Awesome. Multiply 2 numbers. 7 times 70 is 490. There you go. Now finally, we will divide it to return num1 over num2. And there we go. So this was a very, very simple set of algorithms that are to solve. But it's good to just go in slow, especially if you've never coded before. This is a good way to get a handle on just how the structure and the syntax of JavaScript works and solving the algorithm. So we will move on to the next one. And the next algorithm we're going to solve is odd or even. Looking at the unsolved, we'll open odd or even. O2, and this is odd or even. Cool. So return a string should return the string odd if number is not evenly divisible by 2. Okay. And looking at the instructions here, open unsolve. In this file, you'll write code in the body of odd or even to achieve the following. If num is evenly divisible by 2, return string even. If num is not evenly divisible by 2, return string odd. Okay, so we are given a number. So let's just work through it nice and slowly, and we'll see what goes on. So let's go see what num is actually. Looking at numbers, we're given 777 and 1002. So what can we do to really determine whether it's odd or even? There's this really cool operator called a modulo. Modulo JS. How do you use modulo? There you go. So suppose we have two numbers, 5 and 2, where number one is dividend and number 2 is a divisor. If you do number 1 modulo number 2, you get a remainder. So given that if a number is divisible by 2, it should return no remainder. But if it's divisible by 2 and it doesn't return a remainder, it means it's odd. So let's go ahead and just declare an output. Let output equal, for now we'll set it to even. Now we'll do a simple if statement. If number modulo 2 equals 0, return output, else return, we don't even need this, return even, return odd. Return even, otherwise we'll return odd. And just to be super clear, if num modulo 2 equals 1, then we want to return odd. So this should pass. Should return odd. Yep, there we go, and that passes. So looking at what it returns, the modulo will give it the remainder of any number. So given it's divided by, you can divide by 2, there will be no remainder for even numbers, but for odd numbers, you will always get a remainder of 1. Again, another pretty simple algorithm to solve if you are already aware of modulo. So, okay. Is there a way we can solve this another way if we didn't know how to do modulo? Let's see. Let's try this. Just for experiment's sake, just to try something. So we're gonna fail this again. So console log type of num over 2. They're both numbers. Okay, so I thought there would be maybe a double type. Okay. If we do num over 2, we get 388.5 and 501. So is there a way to check that this exists? Checking if decimal JavaScript. Okay, not okay, not okay. So again, they're using modulo. Note that this is based on numerical value regardless of format. Okay, so there's a couple things we can use here. We can use is integer. We can give that a try. So math dot is integer of that. Did that not work? Oh wait, number, my bad. True false. Okay, so we can end up using this. This is another way we could do it. So basically, if number dot is integer, then we return even. Else, if number dot is integer, num divided by 2, not, return odd. So now we save this. So here we have two different solutions to this. We can either solution 1 with modulo, modulus, whatever, and then solution 2 with is integer. So that's cool. I didn't know that existed before now, but it's another way we can check without specifically defaulting to the modulus function. So let's go ahead and do the third algorithm for this week. So the unsolved, we will go put the log number here. We will put the readme there, which is right there, and we will go to number 3, log. What is it? Log nums. Cool. Expected to deeply equal 1 through 10. Okay, so let's read it. Open unsolved in your code editor. This will only print all numbers from 1 to the given number inclusive. For example, 5 as the number argument should return 1 through 5. You can check if you're... Okay, so we basically need to output everything from 1 to whatever is the given number. Let's go ahead and just console.log num just to see what we're getting. 10. So there's one test case. Okay, so we can do a loop if we want. Yeah, let's do that. So for var I equals 1, I is less than or equal to number I plus plus, and what we're doing is we're starting from 1, and we're just simply gonna console.log I. Expected 10 to equal, we got 10 first for some reason. Oh, that's why. Okay, cool. So this is one way to do it. Is there another way to do it? Let me think. This is the obvious solution. Just iterate through from 1 to number and just console log the I value. But is there another way we could do that? So, we still need to do it 10 times. So we can do a while I is less than 10, let I equal 1, return while I is less than the number, return number. Okay, so the console.log, get rid of this. Again, infinite tens, I minus minus. Well, I is less than nums, I plus plus. Console log num minus I. Let's refresh this. Okay, we broke that because of infiniteness. So console log, and we're getting that. Okay. Let's go ahead and look at the inspect button. Console 987654321. So 0 1098765431. I don't know why that's not returning the same thing. Oh. Okay. Num minus I. I equals num minus I. Num minus 1. So num minus less than or equal to. So we'll do I minus minus instead. Oh god. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, I is less than. We'll do well, I is greater than. Look at the console on this. So while I is greater than 0, and I is less than num plus 1. Equal to, greater than or equal to 0. There you go. So can we actually get away with just not doing this one at all? Nope. We actually need that check. Yeah. So this is another way you could do it, technically. It's kind of tedious. It's kind of difficult to read. This is the most straightforward solution. This one's kind of like, what are you even doing? So while I is greater than or equal to 0, but less than or equal to basically 11. Yeah, I can even set that equal to that. We're basically subtracting numbers by, so this is 10 minus 1 is 9. So 10 minus 9 will give us 1. And now we're decrementing I, and now 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So yeah, and then that'll give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is really not a way you should do it, but I thought, hey, let's try and find a different solution. But yeah, try to keep up with these. You don't want to sit and do them all weekend. If you keep up with it, you'll be able to use it in your challenges and your codes when they come up. So give them a try and don't be afraid to fail. And don't be afraid to experiment either, because that's how you learn. So thank you for watching. Have a good one.